This is KUGAN CASSIUS for Eiffel TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. We're in Berlin here, the morning of the weigh-in for tomorrow night's fight night. Is it Judgment Night?
Judgment Night,
yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand the German
Night,
on the poster.
Yeah. First of all, we're not just in Berlin. I've done a few of these interviews with Kug, and I've got to tell the viewer we are in the iFilm London studio in Berlin. I mean, you know, KUGAN has somehow rented a mini studio on set here in Berlin. I think the budgets at iFilm London, that pay-per-view stuff you're going on about.
And it's even got a smokers area behind you.
Yeah, that's convenient.
KALLE Nisse Sauerland. Let's start with Nisse.
Well, let's start with you, Kug. Just a second. Let's not forget that one.
Yeah, go on.
Let's not forget that one. 2-1, North London derby. It's gone very quiet about that.
It's in the past. It's in the past.
It's not in my past. I'll be crowing about that till the next one.
So you two, the moody Germans, all right?
Moody Germans.
Moody Germans.
The fake Germans.
Fake Germans, moody Germans.
And in disguise.
Absolutely, but that's the first time the other day at the press conference I actually heard you talk like proper German.
Yeah. Lucky you weren't there because he can't talk German.
You can't talk German? No. So what happened then? And when he was learning it, what were you doing?
Got kicked out of school.
Yeah.
Really?
I did my German classes. I did my German class, you know.
Yeah.
That worked all right. You know, and I've got a German missus. He's got an English missus. His kid's born in London. My kid's born in Germany. Okay. So I'm a German. This is the Nisse from London. You know? Do you want me to talk now in German? We could talk a bit
Ken's
German.
alright.
You can answer some questions in German if you want. You can teach me some German if you want, Kalle.
Ich liebe dich, KUGAN.
What does that mean?
Wait, you've been in Berlin now since Wednesday. You know? No one told you Ich liebe dich? That's a problem, mate.
No.
Ich liebe dich. Ask when you're out tonight.
No, why don't you just tell me?
I heard you were out last night, but when you're out tonight again, go up to a bird in the bar and say Ich liebe dich.
I'm definitely not doing that. Whatever that is.
I forgot you're married. Sorry.
Absolutely.
You have been behaving. I heard you were the first in bed last night or this morning.
What are you trying to do to me? I didn't go out with everyone. I stayed here.
No.
I actually did.
What are we actually talking about?
Good idea. Yeah. Good idea. Okay,
I'm hungry. I want to get lunch.
Let's get serious. He looks like he really can't be bothered this morning. I dragged him over here. No, I don't mean for like the week. I just mean for this interview. Life. Okay, so September. What date was it? The first fight? September
20 something.
September 30th, wasn't it?
No.
28.
28th September. Okay. Outrageous scorecard in a kill. Yes, because that's why we're sat here today. So don't look like you don't know what I'm talking about. Outrageous scorecard.
An outrageous scorecard, yes.
Okay, in kill. So social media goes mental.
I mean, that's why you have 3 judges to make sure that if there's one out, you have the other 2 that are supposed to be right in sense. The other 2 didn't.
The problem is everyone who went mad on social media's disappeared now.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I remember sorted the day after. I remember getting one from you, Oi, Sauerland rematch.
And then you watched the fight back.
I mean, and then suddenly, like, everyone's sort of pulling in. Well, Arthur did really win, but you know it was close. You know, and so
terrible scorecard.
At the end of the day, who cares? We got a great rematch. The first fight was good. It was a close fight. I think most of us would agree that Arthur won the first fight, but it was a good enough fight to see it again. Yeah. And at the end of the day, we put on events that should be fanfares. And you know, I've heard apparently Eddie was on a flight this morning from somewhere out of England with 60 Leeds fans on there, and you know. Lots and lots of Scousers in town. There's obviously lots of German fans coming tomorrow. It'll be full up, 9,000 people, and you know that's what boxing's about. It's about events where fans go and make an atmosphere, have fun, and watch great boxing. I think tomorrow night we'll see a great fight.
Nisse, if the cards were closer, and it was a split, would we have had a rematch come Saturday?
Well, I think it was a good fight, so you know, either way, the fight justifies doing it again. You know, it was a fan-friendly fight. You know, it could clash of styles, and you know, I think the fact that there was a massive scorecard actually adds to the rematch. There's a bit of needle in it, and you know, I think it makes it even more, you know, sort of gives it even more rivalry, you know.
A few crazy people suggesting at the time that the fight should be in Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, I put it to them. You know, what's the offer the other way around? At the end, you know, it's the card is paid for by German money. You know, it's by a big German television deal, of course. You know, offers a pull and offers a world champion, and you know. It has in his professional boxing, guys get paid to do it, and you know, this was the place to do it.
David Price also features in the bill. He's had a slight injury, a bicep injury, kept him out before. He's going to have his fourth fight under you. How did you find working with David Price, first of all?
First of all, he's outside the ring, he's one of the nicest people we've met in boxing. I think anyone who meets David knows that. He's a very genuine guy. He's a man of the people. And you know, he's one of those guys who just don't want to change anything with David, because I think he's people will get behind him, similar to the way they got behind Ricky Hatton, because he's a people's person. You know, people like him. You know, and now you know, we've taken our time with Pricey, and now's, you know, it's certainly a step up from the last opponents. I'm not saying it's a world-class opponent, but it's certainly a step up. And it's a great platform for him on Saturday night to send a statement, you know, and that's what we're looking for Saturday, because we're returning home with a big man now, you know. I think we've got something late May planned in the UK.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the interview, back in Liverpool.
Yeah, back in Liverpool. You know, which is obviously the place where he wants to be fighting. You know, it wasn't that he turned his back on Liverpool. He had to sort his career out at that stage, and go away and you know, find his what's it called
Regroup and find his mojo again.
Mojo, that's the word. Mojo.
Yeah, mojo seems the right word in that sentence. He said this will be his fourth fight.
Zula, Austin Powers.
What does mojo actually mean?
Yeah, it's from
Austin Powers.
It's from Austin Powers.
I haven't even watched Austin Powers.
Oh. You resemble Mini-Me, but you know that is, don't you? Well, he has watched it. He does know, doesn't he? When do you think David will be ready to step in with the big names of heavyweight boxing? I'm not talking about Klitschko, but I'm saying, you know, the type of guys that.
He's a boxing expert. It's one for you.
I would say after this fight. You know, the Tyson Fury's fight, it's always been interesting to everyone. You know, a massive fight for the UK. Anthony Joshua's been mentioned. You know, you got the likes of Lucas Brown sort of around the fringe. Even Derek Chisora.
Chisora, Manuel Char.
Yeah.
You know.
Will we see one of these type of opponents in his next fight?
Yeah, for sure.
Providing he wins on Saturday.
Providing he wins on Saturday.
He's got to put the right message. Like I said at the beginning, we said we won't be rushed on it. You know, if we feel that after Saturday we're not ready to move on, then we'll wait. You know, listen, David has one asset which makes him, for me, a very viable, and I'm not talking promoter rubbish. You know, he can be heavyweight world champ, no doubt about it. And that's because he's, for me, got the biggest punch out there in the business at the moment, without a doubt. You know, if he lands, they're gone. You know, so it's, you know, and he can box, of course. You know, bronze medal at the Olympics. You know, he's got all that's needs to be. You know, it was taken a bit too fast. You know, and especially the second Thompson fight. The first was a fluke, but the second was, of course, showed that, you know, he had the stamina problems, and it's something he's gone away and worked very hard on over the last year.
George Groves will be here later today.
George is landing half an hour. No, it's landed half an hour ago. Yeah.
Okay. I know we had our little interview the other day and
Yeah.
with Eddie and everything. And,
Yeah.
but
Covered most bases there.
we did cover most bases, but
I can tell you now we're moving very close now. I hope that we can announce home. Nisse met with Marissa Suleiman in London this week, president of the WBC. and I hope that at the beginning of next week we'll be putting out our resolution, and I think that will show people what we've been trying to do, and we feel that we're in a very good position then.
George won the silver belt, WBC silver belt. Yeah. Does it frustrate you at all that like Kevin Mitchell won that same belt, obviously a different weight, and Jorge Linares, the WBC lightweight champion, was ordered to fight him so quickly or so soon after that, and George is having to obviously wait?
I don't know the situation. I like Kevin Mitchell, so I hope he goes on to become win that belt, because he's a great fighter, and he's hope he becomes WBC champ. So it's a different situation. Without saying it, I know in boxing everything's a different situation. Darrell won the belt last year. We were told. Don't forget, we got a stroke of luck walking straight into an eliminator. A lot of people say, why did he deserve it? Well, I think he deserved it on the merit over the performance on 2 fights. Forget the results. But you have to look at always where, look at the big picture. Right? After the Wembley fight last year, obviously there were some pieces to put back together in terms of the career and the movement and where we were going. We did that very, very fast. We had a fast turnaround. It wasn't just a silver belt; it was a European title challenge. We won, and George did a great job against Rebrasse, who a lot of people thought was, a walkover, and he clearly wasn't. I think you'll see that in the fights that Rebrasse goes on to now, because he was also quite an inexperienced guy going into the Groves fight, so beat a quality fighter. We were told then that by December, Mr. Darrell would have a voluntary, which is of course fine. He won the belt in August of last year. Then we went over to Vegas. We were told we were a mandatory contender, of course, which was more like less telling us exactly what we knew already, but okay. Dressed up nicely, and then we were told no, he's applying for a voluntary. So I was first told February. I thought, all right, well, February, and then I was told April, and then of course we threw our toys out of our pram and went mad, So we dealt with it in let's say, I can't reveal too much on the way we dealt with it, but we went forward very strongly towards the WBC on it, and I think you'll see that in the resolution that we've got something which we can be very happy with.
And when can we expect that?
Beginning of next week.
Okay. And this involves news on George's next fight?
Well, let me say the course of next week, because I know you like to put pressure on. So I think during the course of next week, we will have information on that. I fully expect George to fight before
that. Will there be news on that as well?
There will be news on that when we get the resolution through. We'll obviously move to the fight, which we're talking about when we meet George here at the weekend.
Okay. Let's grab a word with George when I see him today. Actually,
yeah.
I'm sure he's got some interesting things to say, as George always has.
George is an outspoken young man, but someone who gets the business. It's remarkable that at the age of 26 is someone who's very, very, very sharp.
Okay. Are you in the process of stealing any more of our fighters?
UK fight as well. No. Stealing. I don't know the word stealing.
I live 10 minutes away from George. I live 5 minutes away from Dale Youth.
Yeah.
Listen, I think it's great. More fighters you get, the better. Spread them around.
Listen, we have enough to do in Germany. In Scandinavia. Poland, Russia.
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. We signed Kubat Pulev again now. We do a big fight with him in the stadium in Bulgaria this summer. No, look, we have our different operations, and we're very happy with the way they work. We're a little bit of a satellite company in terms of we're not based in one country. We're all over, which works well for us. I said wasn't about George or Pricey weren't about signing UK fighters. They were signing about fighters that we believe are marketable on a world scene. That Pricey obviously is a heavyweight, but George also in a weight class where I think out of all the promoters we've probably got one of the strongest histories when you look at what we've done in the weight class of the super middleweights from mid-90s, onwards, going back, whether it's Sven Oetker, Bayer, Woodall, like Marcus Bayer, Richie Woodall, Arthur Abraham, of course, Mikkel Kessler. So we've held a very strong flag in the super middleweight division. Obviously, we're a large part of creating the Super 6 tournament at the time. So, it's a weight class that in Germany is huge. This year, you're going to see Abraham Storm. I'm pretty sure, as everything, if it can beat Paul Smith, or else we'll have a third Paul Smith fight. So it's big things in the super middleweights for us.
Okay. All right. I know if you want to conquer Sri Lanka, I know a good heavyweight there.
Sri Lanka, well, heavyweights. We'll sign.
Cousin of mine.
Who's a promising heavyweight.
Cousin of mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Sri Lankan.
Sri Lankan.
He's as big as you?
Yeah, he's 3 inches bigger than me.
Is he athletic as you?
Is he as good looking as you?
Ticks all them boxes, baby. All right, well listen, Kalle, he looks like he's ready to go to bed. He looks like he needs a kick before the weigh-in.
He's up all night doing the opponents. He's we got this year. We're planning. I think was it 13?
What?
13 shows before the summer.
Yeah.
13 shows before the summer. 13. So Germany, UK, Scandi, Bulgaria, maybe a couple of other ones.
Just a perception. He looks like he does more work than you. You look like you do more frontman work. Is that true?
Frontman work.
Yeah.
Frontman? What's that mean?
Yeah, frontman work.
Lead singer of rock and roll.
Like press conference, send Kalle. While he's actually doing the rock.
Say Kalle's talk crap.
He's such a wind-up merchant.
Shout out to my mate Chris Mayer as well.
That's exactly the reason why I keep him away from the cameras. I mean, listen, he's got no social life. He sits at home watching fights. Honestly, his social life is getting his mates around to watch reruns. So like, his mates must be really, really sad because he's like, he literally watches boxing all day, all night. And of course, and listen, obviously that love
better
on the
than watching Star Wars over and over again.
What do you do?
Star Trek, go to his Star Trek meetings.
Do you?
You've never heard Star Trek.
You want to talk shit, I'm going to talk shit.
Oh, I love this. I absolutely love this.
How did you get out of Star Trek?
Is that the sign you do to Star Trek? People in your club?
Alright, listen.
I think it's better you turn that thing off now.
I am going to turn it off, but listen, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV.
Lovely to talk to you, Kugan.
We'll
I'm so proud to have been one of the first people in this studio in Berlin. Are you going to keep it here and then when you come over, or is it?
Possibly. I think it's a little bit too small for us, to be honest.
Purchase or lease deal? What have you done on it?
Freehold.
Freehold? Crikey, we might set my office in here.
Sponsorship round here.
Listen, thank you very much for talking to us.
Actually, hold on. One thing, you've got to still put a sponsorship up here.
We will. The card's going to run out.
Is there any way if you just...
Oh, sorry, carry on. The card just ran out.
No, if the card ran out. So no, I'm just saying the viewer has to see the colour of your shirt today, because it is... is there any way of you turning that? Flipping it?
Whoa.
You want me to hold it for you?
Hold on.
A bit odd, Look at this. Yeah, this is KUGAN CASSIUS pink. Yeah, you can see it beautifully. Yeah, hold on. Let me do that. Look, and look at this. This is not pink. This is KUGAN CASSIUS pink. Over and out from here in Berlin.
And listen, thank you for your hospitality.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, man, I didn't know you.
You might want to freshen up the flowers next time we come into the studio. Spent all his money on the studio.
I want you two to carry on your little bickering you just had there. That was probably the most entertaining bit.
No idea how much we bigger.
Look, tomorrow night I want to look $1 million and have a shave. Yeah. Maybe shower.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Catch up with you soon.
Beauty and the Beast here.